Hi, this is Sherry Veronica, and there are more killings going on in the Caribbean. A lot of black women are being killed by the people that they slept with. They sleep with their enemies. Their enemies are part of their households. These things are known. But sometimes when these things happen, and I hear people use a lot of emotions, and they drown themselves of the knowledge of things, the history of things. They drown themselves within emotions, and they are not looking at what kind of human emerged from slavery. Now, let's take one particular human trait. Let's take one. Let's look at the man, the black man, who has no problem being a pimp. After slavery, after all the trauma, after all the inhumane situations that slaves went through, and all the things that women did to keep their men alive, to keep their children alive. How, you may ask, can someone emerge from slavery and become a pimp? Use that as a way of making money, sell the woman to strangers, put her out on the street, take her money, and put her back into slavery. How could that have happened? Now, there are a lot of other professions, quote unquote, that you can look at, but let's just look at the pimp. Just look at one thing, take one thing at a time. And it only shows to someone like me who watches history. I watch history, and I watch how things repeat, and how within the black community, how women are treated. And you have to come to only one conclusion. Slavery created a new type of human. The black slaves that were released and had kids that are now alive, living now, that can sell themselves, or the man that can sell his women, a bunch of women, into sex slavery, kidnap them, mistreat them. You have to understand, it's gonna take a while for some people, but be that as it may, you have to come to the only conclusion that there is to come to, and that there were subhumans that came out of slavery. There is a subhuman component to some of the slaves back then that had kids that are alive now, that would sell a woman into slavery, that would call himself a pimp. That would be someone that was created via slavery, created by the white man. The white man, via slavery, created a different type of human, and that has got to marinate in your minds. The things that you do, the things that you allow, the things that you are having some sort of Stockholm Syndrome about, the things that you just cannot face. You're not able to face certain things. Some men can do the vilest things, and you can make an excuse. You have to understand that slavery created a lesser type of human, and we must address it. We must talk about it. Reparations must be paid so that people can have the time to sit with a professional, speak with a professional, seek all kinds of help from all sorts of professionals. It must be done. If you do not bring this to the forefront, if you keep avoiding this subject, you are always going to behave like a slave. Okay, so let's talk about pimps. Let's think about pimps, and let's say it for what it is. Anyone who can come from such a period of such humongous disadvantages, such treatment, if you can emerge from that history of things, because someone is telling you, when even in the beginning, when it was verbal, you're being told what you endured, and you can rise up and have women out on the streets commanding them to sell their bodies and give you their money. If you are a pimp, you have at some point, you have to come to the only conclusion there is to come to. You are a subsection of humanity that was created via slavery. This is Sherry Veronica.